Coming up tonight on NonStop Local, the U.S. Postal Service helping spread some Christmas cheer with Operation Santa. We'll tell you how you can participate coming up. And hey, we're clearing up some rumors. Will there be a Trader Joe's here in the Treasure State? Our team is investigating. But first, we are still in a weather alert this evening. More heavy, wet, and wintry weather moving into major areas of the Treasure State. What do the next few days and the weekend look like? NonStop Local. We start right now.
Ben Weinman and Elena Margot, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local Montana at 5. This is a NonStop Local weather alert.
Good Thursday evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight right here on NonStop Local. I'm Ben Weinman. We are in the middle of snowy, cold conditions today, and we should have more on the way as we head towards the weekend. And we are, of course, in a weather alert. And let's bring in Elena Margot, leading us off tonight from outside the Weather Center. The Weather Center, Elena, has kind of moved outside this evening, it looks like.
Yeah, moved outside this evening to kind of get a sense for how roadways are feeling. My walk here, I'm wearing Sorel boots, still a little bit slick, and temperatures tonight, they're going to dip even more. So we're talking about maybe some slick commutes.
So more slop, more moisture, more rain/snow coming our way over the next couple days.
Absolutely. It's like lions and tigers and bears,
right.
Rain, slop, and snow. Oh my. All right, everybody, good evening to you and a happy weather alert to you. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of moisture moving into especially areas like Missoula and Bozeman for the rest of the night. Now, I'm standing on the corner of Stevens and Brooks in the Missoula area, and I'm going to show you this. Traffic is moving well. Roadways right now are wet, not necessarily icy, but again, temperatures tonight dropping down into the 20s. Let's take a quick look at some of our weather maps and get a sense for where we're headed. When it comes to passes today, well, we've seen a lot of snow across much of the region in terms of our passes. Sioux Pass, Bozeman Pass, Homestake Pass, and Lookout, all with a lot of snow, but you'll notice some law enforcement as well as some plows. Now, quick look at your snow potential. We've got a lot of snow potential primarily in western Montana, Kalispell, all the way down through the Helena, Missoula, and Bozeman areas. That all coming tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow starts dry, but tonight remains wet between Missoula, Hamilton, Hardin, all the way up through the Glasgow and Jordan areas. Heaviest snow right now in the Missoula and Hamilton areas. When we look at the current visibility across the region, current visibility is significantly reduced in areas like Missoula, down to about 1 mile, down to about 4 in Butte, America. When it comes to what we can anticipate from winds for the rest of the night, winds between 20 and 30 miles per hour in Cutbank and Livingston. Nothing too gusty in areas of eastern and western Montana. Central Montana, nice and gusty. Temperature change in the last 24 hours, net positive, especially in the eastern portion of the state, trending warmer into the rest of the week and into the weekend. Daytime highs to the 40s and 50s. Good chance for more snow tonight in the Bozeman area as well as Missoula. Other than that, we're tracking a slight chance for more snow in major areas. Where we go from here, I'm going to go to the studio and tell you more about the forecast.
Elena Margot, on the ground weather reporting. That's what we love about our Elena Margot. Thank you very much. And hey, just a reminder to all those snowboarders and skiers out there across the state. Tomorrow, Friday the 5th, that is going to be when Red Lodge Ski Resort is having their opening day. Yesterday, the resort posted on social media experiencing about 8 inches of new snow within a 24-hour period. And with that, the resort is going to be opening tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if that is not enough, the lodge crew also gearing up for another exciting event you might want to keep your eye on. Coming next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, December 12th, Red Lodge Ski Resort teaming up with Teton Gravity Research. They're continuing their streak of sharing incredible ski and snowboard films. Their 30th anniversary release, Pressure Drop. So for 2 nights of, quote, winter madness, there's going to be a screening at the Roman Theater accompanied with drinks and raffle. All the proceeds go towards the Snow Days Scholarship Fund. More details and info, just head over to the events calendar tab at redlodgemountain.com. And up to the north, Whitefish Mountain Resort celebrating their opening day today, and they actually had a storm up there. Everyone is reminded to just ski safe, practice proper mountain etiquette, and abide by all closures. Well, tonight, doctors here in Montana are seeing more cases of a condition most people have never even heard of. It's called scromiting. The name It sounds a little lighthearted, right? But the reality is not. And some daily cannabis users can suddenly get hit with severe nausea and hours of vomiting. Our Ethan Jamba joining us tonight, talking with a provider out of Glasgow, Montana, about what is driving those visits.
Scromining is becoming more common in emergency rooms as cannabis use rises, and providers are saying that many patients don't recognize the symptoms until severe vomiting occurs that standard medications cannot fix.
We call it cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. So cannabinoid meaning, related to THC, to marijuana use, hyperemesis meaning excessive vomiting, and syndrome just something that is associated with regular, daily, prolonged use of different marijuana products.
White says many patients don't recognize cannabis as the trigger, especially if they've used it for years without problems. But when scromining hits, symptoms escalate fast. Patients can vomit repeatedly for hours, and regular nausea medications often fail, a sign that doctors aren't dealing with a routine stomach bug. This is becoming ever more present in Montana since cannabis legalization.
It's usually pretty severe by the time people come into the emergency department. They've been retching and vomiting and retching, might even be 6-8 times an hour that they're vomiting.
To treat that kind of vomiting, providers turn to medications which White says are more effective than standard anti-nausea drugs. But even after leaving the ER, symptoms can return. Scromining can flare up for weeks after someone cuts back or stops using cannabis, making it hard for patients to see the connection.
They recommend more that we use Haldol, which is more of an antipsychotic type of a medication. Haloperidol, droperidol, sometimes capsaicin cream can also be used to help. And I have found from my experience treating patients in the ER that they are much more effective in treating this.
White says that he expects more people to come forward as awareness grows, and that people who are experiencing persistent, unexplained vomiting should seek medical attention right away. Reporting for NonStop Local, I'm Ethan Jamba.
Now, the NonStop Local Crime Tracker.
Ethan, thank you very much. Let's go to the Flathead County tonight. An incident occurred where a cow elk has been shot and left to waste. The shooting, which is believed to have been occurred late Sunday night, early Monday morning, happened on private land about 2 miles south of Polebridge near the North Fork Road. FWP is now urging anyone who saw something suspicious in the North Fork area or has any potential information, please contact 406-249-6231. That's 406-249-6231, or visit tipmont.mt.gov. And speaking of wildlife, the CSKT Wildlife Management Program will start aerial surveys for wildlife next week, with flights possibly continuing through the Christmas holiday. Program leaders tell us planes will fly in a grid pattern over wildlife management units using infrared technology from about 3,000 feet or higher. They say these flights are usually so quiet that wildlife often don't even notice the aircraft, even if it passes over the same area multiple times. Moving on now, rumors quickly spreading online today about the possibility of a new Trader Joe's coming to the Bozeman area. So our Bradley Warren got to work and spent the day trying to work at confirming the details. Bradley, good evening to you. Is the popular grocery store planning to lay down some 406 roots? I know you have here in the script everything bagel seasoning. My thing is the orange chicken. That's my favorite Trader Joe's thing.
Well, don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there, Ben. Okay, so the grocery store famous for soup dumplings,
Yes.
low prices, and
Yes.
some of the best microwavable mac and cheese I've ever had in my life is exploring right now. Ben, are we having some technical difficulties? I feel like we're having difficulties.
We actually are. We do not have graphics right now.
Well, of course we don't. Well, we can still talk about it. Just stay there, Ben. Let's talk together.
let's do
So
it.
they're exploring hundreds of neighborhoods across the country. And I did take the internet rumors out to them. Because
Yeah.
I was like, listen, guys, like we're buzzing, we're talking, we're chit-chatting. You know how the people of Bozeman roll. When they're talking, they're talking. They tell me, as of right now, they are exploring hundreds of neighborhoods with the goals of opening new stores each year. But here's the drama, Benny. Okay, you ready for it? Currently, they say they do not have a confirmed location in Bozeman. Here's the full statement from Trader Joe's. That's up on our website. This all stems from online conversation regarding the development of Urban Plus Farm. Now, the old rendering showed a Trader Joe's being part of the plan. It's a 106-acre area in Bozeman that is just outside Four Corners on Huffine over by Cottonwood. Now, it would have housing and shopping, Ben, and we love that. And I spoke to them, and they tell me their plan is to have a grocery store involved, but as of right now, it's not Trader Joe's. So we're just going to have to wait, Ben, for that mandarin orange chicken and those world-famous peanut butter cups. I mean, Ben, you know.
I know my
I'm sorry,
wife,
I don't have good news.
My wife doesn't watch us every single night, I got to admit, but this is the story she texted me about today. Is this true? And I go, Bradley's got it covered.
You know I love your wife, and you know I love everybody who wants that bagel seasoning, but we're just going to have to wait. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me, okay? I'm trying. I worked the phone today.
Bradley Ward joining us in the Pulse Studios. He'll be tracking it for us over the next couple days. Bradley, thank you. Moving on now tonight, of course, Christmas just around the corner here in the United States, and U.S. Postal Service helping spread a little extra cheer this year with Operation Santa. It's a program that's been brightening holidays for more than a century. Operation Santa allows families to mail letters to the big guy, which are then posted online for adopters across the country. USPS says many of the letters arriving this year aren't just from children, but entire families asking for help.
And this year, we've seen such an increase in our family letters. Those are the ones that seem to always be the last to be adopted. So we would like to see that increase in those wishes being fulfilled for an entire family. That just makes the whole program very worth it for us.
Send letters is December 6th. The adoption deadline, December 13th at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Folks, if you're looking to make someone's holiday just a little brighter, you can adopt a letter now. We have all the information on how to do that up on our website. Head to nonstoplocal.com. And speaking of the holiday season, students in the Magic City cooking up some unique recipes right now, gaining not just life experience, but work skills along the way. So our Justin Dubale visited one classroom that's using the TV show Chopped as a template for upcoming student success.
Here in Miss Gay's culinary arts class, 15 students and faculty are on a race against time to come up with an award-winning dish. And in true Chopped fashion, of course, there's mystery ingredients involved. With 45 minutes on the clock, competitors had to come up with a dish that had to include the 4 mystery ingredients: chicken ramen, Spam, asparagus, and mandarin oranges. Some students shared some insight into what they were cooking up.
Ramen stir fry with Spam. I mean, it's hard to mess up ramen noodles.
Teams were made up of 2 to 3 students, including a faculty team with Principal Jeremy Carlson. Over the 45 minutes, the heat in the kitchen was getting intense, with everyone scrambling for ingredients and judges watching their every move. But finally, it was time to plate.
Hands off!
Judges carefully tasted each dish, and in the end, students Elena Bradley and Madison Weston took home the first place prize, wowing the judges with their street ramen.
It's a lot of random items, if you go out to somewhere where there's street food, there's kind of just a lot of random items thrown together and it tastes really good. So I decided we should just name it street ramen. They really liked how we incorporated the oranges into a sauce and made it like a teriyaki sauce almost. They also liked how the sauce kind of toned down the saltiness of the Spam.
Them winning this competition was not surprising given Elena's background.
Baking and cooking runs in my family. I used to have a restaurant up in Cook City for when I was really little with my grandparents and everything, so I've been around cooking a long time.
Both Elena and Madison say being in a culinary arts class teaches them valuable lessons like time management, teamwork, and organization, but most of all, it's just a lot of fun.
I honestly thought we would never do this opportunity. I watch a lot of cooking shows, and I see Chopped all the time, so I'm like, that looks so fun to do and everything, and we just did it today, so it was really fun.
In Billings, Justin DeBelle for NonStop Local.
Justin, thank you very much. Folks, taking a quick break here on Nonstop Local. Elena Margo giving you a full check of the weekend forecast. We'll be right back.
This is a NonStop local weather alert.
Hey folks, welcome back. Not that I need to prove to you that I was really just outside, but if you can tell, my hair is wet from the snow. So let's talk local weather. Lake McDonald with low clouds this evening and losing daylight very fast. Good news is that all of this snow, it's snowman snow. It's thick, it's heavy, and it's wet outside. Tonight, snowy conditions persist in the west, looking at areas like Missoula and Bozeman impacted by this. Tomorrow, another surge of moisture to enter, bringing us snow and mixed precipitation. Daytime highs to the 40s by the weekend, suggesting that valley snow could come in the form of mixed precipitation, rain, and wet weather for the Cats and the Grizz. I have updated football forecasts for you. When it comes to winter storm watches, warnings, and advisories, looking at a watch for the high elevation areas of Glacier Park, the Mission Range, that not in play quite yet. Out a couple of days, which is why it is a watch. Warnings and advisories highlighted in pink and purple, looking at valleys receiving 3 to 4 more inches of snow, not to mention passes of central and western Montana receiving up to 8 or more inches of total accumulation through the day on Saturday. So we are not out of the woods when it comes to winter weather advisories, watches, and warnings. Our weather alert calls for more snow tonight in Bozeman and Missoula, the Bitterroot Valley, to receive much more of that snow, and a chance for some snow in Butte. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, slightly drier conditions, but a large surge tomorrow afternoon, impacting Kalispell to Missoula and Paulson first, and then spreading out, impacting Great Falls, Helena, down into the Bozeman area by quitting time tomorrow, spreading into the eastern plains and bringing snow to the highline areas between Jordan and Glasgow, with heavy snow on the way in the morning on Saturday. That expands into the Glendive area. Meanwhile, unsettled weather persists in western Montana. Looking into 12 o'clock on Saturday, that is kickoff in both the Missoula and Gallatin valleys. Slightly drier conditions for Bozeman. Better chance for us to see mixed precipitation, a wintry mix in the Missoula area, and a chance for some valley rain. Meanwhile, Great Falls to Lewistown to Glasgow, more heavy snow on the way, and another surge of moisture as we look into Sunday. Again, Sunday's daytime highs some of the mildest, so we're seeing green populating on our radar, suggesting valley rain rather than the valley snow that we have been seeing today. Quick look at your Futurecast snowfall model over the next 24 hours or so. Could see between 2 and 3 more inches of snow between Missoula and Bozeman. Other than that, nothing significant. Significant accumulation does roll in, especially at those high elevation mountain areas highlighted in pink here as we look forward to the weekend and beyond. Potential for over 15 inches of snow at mountain crests, pass levels, like I said, up to 12 more inches of snow. For the rest of the evening tonight, the eastern plains nice and gusty with winds traveling between 30 and 40 miles per hour. Those winds phase out into the Dakotas overnight tonight, leaving us with slightly drier and calmer conditions for tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, we start to see that surge of moisture entering western Montana. At the same time, gusty winds to develop in southwestern and west central areas. Tracking those winds between 25 and 35 miles per hour, expanding in both severity and size across our region, bringing us wind gusts plus 240 or so plus miles per hour through south central and southeastern Montana. Still, gusty winds will move in with snow. Lows tonight dipping down into the 20s statewide, fairly uniform compared to last night where we saw single digits in the northeast. Tomorrow's daytime highs to the 30s, where we ought to be for this time of year. 34 Butte, 38 Billings, 29 in Cutbank. Now, Cats and Grizz both have football games coming up this weekend. Yale playing the Bobcats, 12 o'clock kickoff, and we do see temperatures in the mid-30s, a 40% chance for snow or a wintry mix in the Gallatin Valley. Low wind speeds both there and at Wagriz. Low 40s for our friends at Washington Grizzly Stadium, but an 85% chance for that wintry mix. And where we go from here over the next 7 days, well, you'll have to stick with us for an update.
Welcome back, everyone. In your health news this evening, it was once one of the most common causes of cancer deaths for women here in the United States. But the American Cancer Society says the cervical cancer death rate has dropped by more than half since the 1970s. That's all thanks to prevention and screening. And today, the organization is announcing new updates to screening guidelines for the disease. Mandy Gaither goes over the changes that every woman should know.
First, the bad news. In the U.S. this year alone, it's estimated that more than 13,000 new cases of invasive cervical cancer will be diagnosed, and more than 4,000 women will die from the disease. But the good news is those numbers have dropped dramatically over the years, but not everywhere.
There's wide disparities in this country amongst cervical cancer rates, and particularly in rural areas, and particularly in the rural South, we continue to see many women presenting to physicians with advanced cervical cancer.
That's why the American Cancer Society is releasing these new guidelines today for cervical cancer screening aimed at reducing deaths from the disease. While the traditional method of a pap smear every 5 years remains the preferred screening method, there's now an acceptable option for women at average risk who don't want a pelvic exam. Taking one of 2 FDA-approved self-collection tests is now recommended every 3 years, as long as the results are negative through age 65.
We know particularly if it's difficult in making an appointment, some women may have privacy concerns initially. So we do think having the ability to have FDA-approved tests every 3 years for self-collection is a wonderful other option.
For women older than age 65 who have had adequate prior screening and not otherwise at high risk, screening is no longer recommended by the organization.
If you're at higher risk because you have HIV disease, you have immunosuppression, your screening should be done with the work through a physician.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you very much. Okay, folks, taking a quick break here on Nonstop Local. Elena Margot giving you a full check of the forecast. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back for your 7-day forecast. All right, folks, temps to the 70s. We ought to be in the 30s at this time of year. So add abnormal warming in Billings and Miles City. A good chance for rain to redevelop on Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, drier in these areas. Wet weather for the next 2 in Livingston, tracking some snow and mixed precipitation then again on Tuesday, Wednesday. Highs in some areas to the low 50s. Missoula and Kalispell sustained temperatures in the 40s. Wet weather in the form of rain and mixed precipitation for the next 6, if not 7 days. Helena and Great Falls seeing temperatures potentially to the low 50s in Great Falls on Tuesday, with a surge of moisture entering in the early part of the week, not to mention snow and mixed precip over the next 2 days. Butte to Bozeman also should see snow showers over the next couple of days. Daytime highs into the 30s and then 40s. Again, this time of year, we ought to be in the 30s, so we're in a seasonal pattern now. This weather is average for this time of year. Then we move into warmer weather, which brings moisture in the form of rain. Next 8 to 14 days, warmer to cooler in a gradient for the central middle part of December, with above average precipitation in central and west.
And Elena, seeing some of those temperatures, it's kind of the worst case scenario, right? Because you either want it to be 45, so it's just rain, or 25 and it's just snow.
Right.
You're kind of right in the middle there.
Exactly. When we have highs to about 32 degrees,
right,
and we know what 32 degree means, it's snowy today, and then when that weather pattern changes, rainy.
Well, folks, we're going to have continued updated forecasts every single show here on NonStop Local over the next couple hours. So keep it with myself and Elena and our entire team. Have a great night, everyone.